Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to week 2 of VLOGOWEEN. Today is the 3rd of October. It is a Friday. Normally, my Fridays are pretty similar to each other, and I'm pretty sure this week is no exception, though coming up on other Fridays in October, they definitely will be looking a little different. But on a normal Friday, I will go to the gym in the morning, I will go out to lunch with my grandparents and my mother, and then later in the evening, or like at night, Ryan, my mom, and I will go to a restaurant or a brewery or something just to like relax at the end of the week. It's kind of a tradition and it is so nice. It's like what I look forward to every week, all week long. Like I said, that is what this Friday is looking like. Today I think we're just going to like a fast food place called Freddy's. The only positive about that, and the only thing kind of like seasonal, is they have like a pumpkin pie ice cream blizzard shake type thing, and I do want to get that. That is really good. I can't eat a full one myself because they're very heavy, but they are very delicious, so I think I'll probably be getting that. And tonight we're going to a restaurant that is a brewery restaurant. It is one of our favorites, but this weekend has some more spooky things planned. So tomorrow on Saturday, if you've been here in the past, you know this, but if you haven't, let me explain. So my family is going to be working on our Halloween card tomorrow. We do a Halloween card that's basically like a Christmas card that most people do. Maybe there are other people out there that do Halloween cards, but I've never met anybody else. I know it exists because like on CVS and Walgreens' website and stuff, you can get Halloween like borders, but I have yet to meet somebody that does a Halloween card. But my family has done those since at least I was like born. Each year I kind of show you guys what we do and how we dress up. So we do have our idea figured out this year, and Saturday we're going to be working on that probably in the like afternoon, evening type time. Actually in the morning it's not exciting, so I probably won't film it at all, but we're getting a whole new like internet service put in that is going to allow me to upload very, very fast. So that's actually, it is exciting. It's not hauntingly exciting or anything. And then on Sunday, and I'm so excited about this because I kind of thought it wasn't going to happen this week, we're going to a fall festival. This is another thing that we do every single year. It is called Severs. They have a pumpkin patch, they have a corn maze, ciders, they've got actually like a petting zoo, little food trucks, photo ops, pumpkin launching cannons. There's all kinds of fun stuff, and every year they have a theme. I don't know what it is this year, actually. The corn maze is cut out into like a graphic. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna not, I didn't know my hand was so reflective. I can like adjust the lighting just by putting my my pale Caucasian skin into the sunlight. Anyways, so there's all kinds of fun stuff there. We love going every year. The reason I didn't know if it was happening on Sunday was because it was supposed to be not only hot, but also it was supposed to rain. The only positive there is that the rain was supposed to bring in the cold air. Now it's not gonna rain, and it's only gonna be hot in the morning. So maybe we'll shoot for going like around noon or something, but I'm really, really excited about that. Usually then we kind of drive around in that area, and that area is more out in like the kind of like country-ish, more of like a rural area. And then of course we'll have Talk or Treat on Tuesday, and we've got all kinds of spooky stuff planned. I hope you guys enjoyed VLOGOWEEN week 1 last week. I love that we could do a little bit of September in VLOGOWEEN. It kind of allows us to have like an extra week, which is fantastic. And I feel like we did a lot of fun stuff. I thought the video wasn't going to be very long, and then it was like over an hour because of how much stuff we did. And that included like 1 or 2 days where I didn't really do much. Yeah, that was great. Anyways, I'm not going to babble too long here. It already has been too long. Let's get this day started and going, and let's get up to some spooky mischief, shall we? Here we are at Freddy's, chicken sandwich and all, but of course I did get the pumpkin pie concrete mixer, or whatever they call it here. It was delicious, I will say. After we actually saw that there was a new vintage shop we hadn't seen before, and so we popped in, and they had a couple Halloween sweatshirts that I really liked. I loved the colors on this one. But my favorite of all was this Bud Light Fright Night Spuds Mackenzie tee. I've actually had one of these saved on eBay for like 2 years, so I may have bought it. was now the 4th, and we didn't really do too much during the day that was very spooky, but we did end up going to a restaurant at night, and I tried a chai cocktail that was really good. And I also got some lettuce wraps with kimchi that were delicious. And we ended the night by watching a couple of specials. So first we watched the Disney Trick or Treat Halloween special. This is one of my favorites that I recently discovered, I feel like maybe 3 years ago, though I know it's obviously very old. Next up was SpongeBob Scaredy Pants, a classic.
Love.
Halloween is no different.
Halloween.
Under the waves. Had to watch my new 4K Peanuts DVD as well. Hello and good morning, ghouls and ghosties. I hope you guys can hear me over the wind. It is a very, very windy day out. It is Sunday, the 5th or 4th. I think it's the 4th. And we are going to be heading to Sever's, which is a fall attraction, pumpkin patch, corn maze, fall festival, I guess usually people call stuff like that. Like I said, there's a corn maze, there's all kind of food trucks, there's a petting zoo, there's pumpkins. We do this like every year on the first Sunday of October, and we're doing it once again this year. Okay, sorry, I just had to switch positions. One of our neighbors was like looking over here and I was like, I'm gonna move. So usually we do this on the first Sunday in October, and we again are doing that this year. Luckily, I think we just got like a couple sprinkles about an hour ago, and that's it. I don't think we're getting any more rain. Then it kept saying it was gonna be super hot. It was gonna be like 85, 86, but I believe that was the high for the morning, and today is actually the day that the temps are finally dropping to more fall-like temps. Right now it's totally fine out, and throughout the day I think it's only supposed to get cooler and cooler. Yes, we'll have to deal with the wind, but I think that that is doable, and I'm excited that we do get to go today. I already bought tickets anyways now, so we're locked in, and I'm super pumped. Now, I don't know if I explained it over the voiceover or anything yesterday, but we, as you can see, didn't get to doing our family Halloween card yesterday. It was like 1,000,000-mile winds, and we need to take this picture outside with a large folding table. So that wouldn't have worked. We also probably have to set up stuff on this table, and I just don't feel we had kind of our costumes ready. So the only thing I'll tell you guys is it's kind of relating to like a zombie-ish theme, and so I think when I go thrifting I need to pick up some flannels and maybe just some random pants that we can kind of like add blood to or rip up a little. And I think next weekend we're gonna work on the family Halloween card. But also on Tuesday I'm getting my spooky tattoo for the year. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is, but I will show you it, of course, as soon as I get it. So I'm really, really excited about that. Like, very excited. So anyways, I am gonna go make sure Ryan is ready, and we are going to head out to Sever's. I'll show you more of my outfit when we actually get there, but this is kind of my usual outfit to go to Sever's because it's usually hot, so I gotta be short sleeves. I can't do like a jacket or something, but I still want to go as spooky as possible, or like as campy. And I think this outfit just works for that. I'm too excited. We need to get going. Also, I'm hungry because it's like almost lunchtime and we haven't even left yet, and I think it's like 35 minutes away. We arrived at Sever's, and right as you're walking in, there is a full area of pumpkins that you can choose from and buy if you'd like. Usually this isn't really where we pick up our pumpkins for the year, but of course, it's fun to look at them. Ryan did bring his spooky dressed Labubu as well. Here is a look at what we wore to Sever's. Ryan did a plaid button-up shirt and a denim pair of shorts, and I did my spooky campy vest with, of course, my Dracula bag. I had to do shorts as well because it was a pretty warm day out, but I did wear spooky boots. Here's a look at the guide. This is where it usually shows you kind of the theme for the year, and it seems to be kind of an ancient civilization, ancient monuments theme. This is a look at the corn maze, and then this is a look at the actual Sever's map where it shows where everything is and all the activities and attractions that they have. So first off, we started with lunch. Like I said before we left, we were pretty hungry. It was actually pretty late already. It was afternoon. The hot dogs are the cheapest option, so we did pick those. We both grabbed a cider for while we were walking around looking at the animals and all the attractions. These are the pumpkin cannons. We love to sit on the bleachers that they have over here and just watch the kids launch them off. It is so entertaining how excited they get. Unfortunately, we did not completely evade the rain, and it did start to rain after we were there for a little while, so we found a tent and we enjoyed our cider and just waited it out. Then, after it was done raining, we decided to walk over towards the petting zoo. They had these really cool painted murals with Halloween scenes all over them. They do pig races, so we looked at all the little piglets. They kind of reminded us of our French bulldog Will. They have a lot of different animals. The first booth had sheep in it. They were so adorable. I really loved the chickens too. They are such pretty colors, especially this close up, but I think my favorite one was this all black chicken. It almost looked like a crow mixed with a chicken. I love the little bit of almost like blue-gray in his feathers. The ostriches were pretty wild. I kind of had to take a step back because I was scared they were going to peck my phone out of my hand or something, but they were really cool to see. I don't think I've ever been this close to an ostrich. The little one was so cute. They had added some chicken and rooster inspired murals to their big crates that they paint each year. I like these little chiclets. They were so adorable. We were gonna move on to the corn maze, but before we did, we decided to get some mini donuts. They were so good. It's hard when you smell that smell of mini donuts to not go get some. This is a look at their past corn mazes. I think we've come for the past maybe 5 or 6 years. I remember 2021 and I think I remember 2020. You go throughout the maze and find all of these interesting facts about the theme. So like I said, this was an ancient civilization theme. We had found them all, so now it was probably time to head home. We actually were here for quite a while this year, and it kind of started to rain again. It just seemed like it was a sign that we should maybe keep moving on with our day. On the way home, though, I saw this house with a bunch of large animatronics I thought was so cool. And actually, we decided on our way home we should stop by what is called the Big Yellow Barn. It is Minnesota's largest candy store, and wait until you see the inside. This place is insane. They paint murals all over the ceiling. Many of them are inspired by Disney, but they're so intricate and well done. And they also have all kinds of figures and animatronics almost and lighting setup. It is a wild place to go. And it felt fitting to finish the night by rewatching the entire Over the Garden Wall season. Alright, ghouls and ghosties, it is the 6th today of October, and I just did a pickup at Home Depot, as you can see. I know that I said I wasn't gonna get any animatronics this year, but I have an idea. So I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. We will set this up either today or tomorrow, and I will show you my master plan. Alrighty, ghouls and ghosties, so we are now in the backyard with the guardian of the gourds. And we're going to be assembling him. Now, this is not where he's going to go. He's not standing back here, but I have the best setup to show you guys while I do it. And also, this is kind of the most open room to do this. And I wanted to put him together with you guys. Like I said, I know that I told you I wasn't going to get an animatronic this year, and I didn't think I was going to up until like 2 days ago. I'm still not going to explain why yet, but once I have him assembled and once I have the setup that I plan on doing, I'm going to explain it and explain why I felt I needed him for said setup. Here, water dripping or airplanes or anything, I am outside and I do have my skull fountain, but I'm gonna do this in fast motion and play just some music for you guys. Let's get him put together. I love that on top of his head, they still put a stem. Also, I love his eyebrows. They're like, or his eyebrow bone. It's like devilish. I still gotta figure out my cord situation, but this was my idea. He has this little army of pumpkin kids or pumpkin people, because I have literally every single pumpkin kid they ever came out with. And at first I thought I'd maybe do like a classroom scene, but I don't exactly know how I can like make it look like one. So it's kind of just like he is their dad or like a weird creepy uncle or something. Hello, ghouls and ghosties. Happy 7th of October today. We are a week in to October, which is horrifying and kind of depressing. Oh, there's a really cute decorated house. Hold on. I'm sure you guys hardly saw that. Anyways, I am off this morning to an appointment, but no, it's nothing boring. It's not like a doctor or a dentist or anything like that. I am off to a tattoo appointment to get my 2025 Halloween tattoo. So I know I haven't told you guys what it is yet, but I think when you see it, you won't be very surprised. I am super excited about this tattoo. It is a reference I don't have anything to yet. It is a ghoul, goblin, or monster that I don't have a tattoo of yet. And it is just very fitting for a number of reasons. So once I get it, I will show you guys and I will explain it to you, of course. But this appointment is gonna be a little long because I'm actually getting like 3 tattoos. So I'm getting 2 tattoos for my late pug Mike, and then I am also getting my spooky one. So it's a joyous and slightly sad occasion, but that's okay. I'm really happy and excited to be getting these. I will show you all of them once we are sitting down actually for talk or treat. So that is right. Today is Tuesday, which means it is time for another talk or treat. And I this morning have been planning out what I'm going to talk about. Our theme for today, I will let you know. Our theme for today is going to be Halloween traditions. So I'm going to be talking about traditions that I have done all throughout my life that I still do. I'm also going to be talking about traditions that I used to do as a kid that I cherish as memories, and then I'm going to be talking about new traditions that I do, or ones that have like evolved over time. So I know that this is going to be kind of a more, I guess, like personal talk or treat, not necessarily big picture or like pop culture, but it might inspire you guys for some ideas for things to do, say if you have children or something, because some of these traditions that I did as a kid are some of my most cherished Halloween memories, and honestly are some of the things that probably inspired my deep love for the season, and they are things that I will do if I ever have a child someday. And also some of them are things that you guys probably do or have done. So yeah, even though it's like kind of personal, I think you guys are gonna like it and be able to relate, and I will be excited to read what are some traditions that you guys have or remember or cherish. That's what we'll be doing when we get home. I think today's treat is just gonna be candy corn, maybe candy corn with peanuts. I've been eating that a lot for the past like week, so that sounds kind of good, and that might be our snack. I'm not exactly sure how long this appointment will be. Nothing else too spooky happened this morning. I just honestly have been getting like any work that I really have to get done for today done with, because obviously I have this and then I have talk or treat, so I do have kind of a busy afternoon schedule, and then we do need to talk or treat, so obviously I have a kind of busier afternoon, so I just wanted to get like all the work out of the way. So that's what I've been doing. I am about 5 minutes from my tattoo appointment. I don't know, some tattoos are like way faster than I expect. Sometimes it takes forever, so we will see. It's the appointment's at noon, and I guess I'll let you guys know when I'm done, but I'm super excited to get it. I'm super excited to show it to you guys. So I'm gonna head there now, and I will catch you guys when I am done. Okay, ghouls and ghosties. I'm finally headed home. It is 4 o'clock. It took a while, but I kind of thought it would. Like I said, I was getting a couple tattoos, a few tattoos, a handful, 3. I was getting 3, which I will show you once we are home to discuss the spooky traditions. I am very excited. Like I said, I did kind of write out some notes for myself of things I really wanted to discuss, and it honestly unlocked some memories that I hadn't really thought about in a hot minute, that I felt very nostalgic about. I'm gonna head home now, and we will get to talking and treating. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to talk or treat number 2 for the 2025 VLOGOWEEN season. I am so pumped, and no, this is not a different day. This is the same day. I did change shirts into something a little more festive. I was in like a plain gray shirt because it was a little more loose, and I didn't want like ink or anything else to stain a shirt that I like. But now I'm looking more festive. So I am home for my tattoos, and I'm ready to talk and to treat. And today's treat, like I said in the car, is going to be candy corn with peanuts. Now, I'm sure everybody at this point has heard of this mixture, but just in case you haven't, having candy corn with peanuts in the same bite is delicious. If you like salted nut rolls, you would love this. It's just such a perfect balance of sweet and salty, and I love this mixture so much. So yes, I'm gonna show you my tattoos and then we'll start talking. I like to do one piece of candy corn with like a pinch of peanuts. So it's usually like maybe like 5 or 6 peanuts. So good. Also, if you need peanut recommendation, there is no better peanut on earth than Fisher brand sea salt peanuts. These things are addicting. Like, I like peanuts, I like peanut butter, but Fisher brand sea salt ones, that was like the perfect ratio. It's like 1 candy corn, 5 peanuts. Delicious. Okay, so let me show you my tattoos first. Like I said, I did get 2 for my late pug, Michael, who passed away unfortunately this summer. You guys were kind of with me during haunt hunting when these events occurred, and it was a tough time, but we're okay. We are into the spooky season now, and we are thinking positively. My first one, this is a really tough spot to show you guys, but I got a piece of popcorn. Wow, I'm literally gonna have to get out of screen to show you guys this. It's a piece of popcorn. And that is because Mike and I would share popcorn so many days. In college, I think I'd share popcorn with Mike every single day. Also, fun fact about me, popcorn is my favorite food, and I'm not over exaggerating. It's my favorite food, period. Like, obviously there's many other foods I like. I could eat popcorn every single day. I love popcorn. Also for Mike, I got a little bit more of a direct one. Now ignore that there's some, I don't know what words I can say on YouTube, but there's some signs of injury, I guess you could say. It is a new tattoo, but this is just orange ink. That's nothing. But I got it in the Charles Schultz font. It says Mike, and it's a checkered bow tie because I would always put him in bow ties, and the one I put him in the most was checkered. And then my spooky one for the year. Are you ready for the reveal? If you have guesses for what I may have got this year, it is a pop culture reference. Please, 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 right now when I'm buying you time, leave your guess below. I would love to hear what you guys think it could possibly be. Are you ready to see it? 3, 2, 1. It is, okay, again, there's signs of injury. It is Lucy in her witch's costume from the Peanuts special. And it's on my arm that has a bunch of my other spooky tattoos. She's right there. She's like 2.5 to 3 inches tall. I know it looks a little gruesome because of the signs of injury, but trust and believe, this thing is so well done. The green in the mask is like a neon green. I almost want to like put it under a black light and see if it glows. It almost looks like it would. The orange is such a good orange, and the shadowing she did on the hat is amazing. The brown of the paper bag is perfect. The shadowing on her sheet is perfect. I will show you guys these better probably within the next like 3 days, maybe at the beginning of the next VLOGOWEEN, when I can remove the wrap and I can clean them and you guys can get a better look. I'll use the back-facing camera so it's more clear in HD and we'll get some better lighting. But those are my tattoos that I just got. I'm sure not all of you even care about tattoos, so let's move on from the tattoo discussion. I'm gonna have another little mixture and let's start talking, shall we? So like I said in the car, we are here to talk about Halloween traditions today. I'm going to first talk about timeless traditions, traditions that I did when I was a child, my parents kind of created for me as a kid, that I do the exact same way to this day. There's no change, I haven't altered them. It's a tradition that has carried on through time for me. Then we're gonna talk about my evolving traditions. This could be kind of new traditions that I've created for myself, or for me and Ryan, or traditions that my parents did that I have kind of changed to fit me in my obvious adulthood. Under traditions, I have kind of 2 categories. One of them being things I watch, TV, movies, etc., and then one being events or activities that have evolved or changed over time or been created. Like I said, I might have some ideas that you guys could use or take from me if they interest you, especially if you have children. Some of these ones from my childhood, again, are like key spooky memories for me. They probably inspired the spookiness that lives within me right now. So let's talk about timeless traditions that I still do. Obviously, carving pumpkins is something that I still do to this day, and I've done since I was like born. I kind of have a little fun thing that I do that I probably told you guys about in past years. Each year when I carve my pumpkins, I usually do 2 or 3 myself. So I draw up like 10 to 15 concept carving faces, and I draw them on a little postcard, or I draw them on a printer paper sheet, and I have everybody vote on their favorites, and then the top 3 or top 2 with the most votes are the ones that I actually carve. That's something I feel like I maybe started in high school or maybe upper middle school. You kind of only get to carve pumpkins once a year, so why not make them the perfect, most special, most loved carvings ever? Don't just go for something basic, do something creative, do something new. That's how I view it, so I like to do a lot of ideas and then kind of whittle it down. Another timeless tradition, of course, is Halloween music. So ever since I was a child, my family and I have listened to Halloween music as if it's Christmas music. Obviously, Christmas music gets airtime on the radio and stuff, but Halloween music is underrated and absolutely exists, and it's not just a couple songs like some people say. There are plenty. I talked about my Spotify playlist last week, which I think I always have in the description if you're interested, but I have created a huge Spotify playlist. Every single year I find new songs, vintage, new releases, all kinds of songs, party songs, dance songs, everything. I add them to it. It's been growing probably for like 10 years now. But when I was a kid, my parents in the car, and this is gonna date me, would play cassettes. Spooky cassettes. So I remember the little Halloween party cassettes. Some of them had really spooky songs like Monster Mash and whatever, but then some were more like party songs. So it would have like Purple People Eater and Monster Mash, and then it would also have like Splish Splash, I Was Taking a Bath, and Rockin' Robin. As you can tell, I have a specific one in my brain. One of the cassettes had those 4, I remember to a T. And then, as we moved into the future technology, my uncle made us a CD that was a self-created CD, kind of like I do with my Spotify now, and it had spooky sounds, it had some more niche Halloween music, it had like the Freddy Krueger couple of hip-hop songs that came out, which I love. Those are on my playlist. It had theme songs to movies, it had everything. This has been something that's carried on all through my life. It's just changed shape a little bit. Another tradition that will be taking place in the next Vlogoween, though I think tomorrow or the next day we're gonna work on the outfits for it, is my family's Halloween card. So again, kind of like how a lot of people send out Christmas cards where it's like a picture of the family and it's like, Merry Christmas from the blankety blanks, 2025. My family has always made a Halloween card each year. We send it out about midway through October, and usually it has a catchphrase that kind of goes with the picture. If you're interested more in my past Halloween cards, I think last year during Vlogoween, I showed off like a whole archive of them, but we've done them for years. We're doing one again this year. It's always a different theme. It's based on movies, spooky monsters, all kinds of stuff. I've got 2 more timeless traditions that I could come up with, even though I'm sure there are plenty more. So the next one is kind of a simple one, and that is mummy dogs. Now, hopefully I've been putting in some pictures here and there if I could find them, or maybe some B-roll, whether they're my pictures or pictures from the internet, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of visual with this. Mummy dogs are literally just hot dogs that you wrap a croissant roll around, and it looks like a mummy, it looks like a bandaged hot dog, and then you can do either ketchup dots as eyes, or some people put ketchup dots and then they put like a candy eye on it. I mean, you could use mustard, you could use a lot of different stuff, like little drops of mayo maybe, with like a piece of pepper to almost make like an edible, savory eyeball. I don't know, there's lots of stuff you could do, but mummy dogs have always been a tradition. I still do them to this day. I'm not a huge fan of like normal hot dogs, like beef hot dogs. So when Ryan and I do them, we usually do chicken sausage, and it's honestly just like a luxury mummy dog. It is so much, so much better and better for you. And I'm sure you guys remember these from past Vlogoweens. A lot of these, you guys probably are like, yeah, we've experienced these with you, because I do take you guys along in basically all of these things. So the last timeless tradition that I've had since I was a child is looking at Halloween lights and Halloween displays. Again, I have taken you guys with in the past Vlogoweens. As a child, we would always pick a day in October and we would go driving around all of the neighborhoods, and you'd look at the houses, the inflatables they had up, the lights they had up, the blow molds, the animatronics, and we would just spend a couple hours looking at Halloween lights. Again, it's almost like Christmas, but a Halloween version. I mean, you just go down like a neighborhood, and obviously like as soon as you see a front yard with like something going on, you just kind of like drive past it. Some years we would pick up Boo Buckets from McDonald's and eat that while we are driving around. Some years we would come home and we would order like a pumpkin-shaped pizza from Pizza Hut or Papa John's or Papa Murphy's, whoever does that. But that is something that we have done all throughout my life and we do continue to do every single year. I don't think we have a date for that yet this year because obviously you can kind of do it any night, but it's usually closer to Halloween. Like it's kind of a late 20s of October. So let's move on to the evolving traditions. Most of these were something I did that I've had to change in some way, either because I've grown up and I need to like mature, no fun, or because my interests have just slightly changed. So let's talk about the things that I watched and watch around Halloween in the past versus now. So when I was a kid, I would, of course, watch Halloween specials, and those have not changed. So I always still watch Garfield's Halloween, Peanuts Halloween. We watch all the classic movies like Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, all of them, Twitches, all those good classics. That has not changed at all. But when I was a kid, obviously I'd watch some of the more like cartoon specials. Again, I still watch some like SpongeBob Scaredy Pants, but like Scary Godmother, which I'm sure a lot of you do remember, that's one that I watched as a kid that I don't think I would ever watch again. I don't really like the animation style and I just don't really like it that much. Of course, I like the spooky vibe, but that's about as far as my interest in that goes. And one thing, when I was a child, which makes sense, but I hated horror movies. Horrified of horror movies. No interest, wasn't even willing to give them a chance. When I would hear the theme song of Halloween or kind of the Exorcist one or any of what I was talking about, those Freddy Krueger like hip hop songs, I would get so scared, especially the Halloween, like the 1978 Halloween song when Michael Myers is like following people or it's like the main theme song, like peeing myself. So scared, which is so funny because now that is my favorite horror movie of all time. And I'm obsessed with Freddy Krueger. I'm obsessed with Michael Myers. I'm obsessed with Scream. Huge horror fan. It's just funny to see the evolution. And obviously that's kind of how my taste has changed. And another thing that has evolved too is I built a tradition for myself that I really like to go onto YouTube, like you're watching right now, and watch vintage compilations and watch compilations of vintage Halloween commercials. Usually they're 80s or 90s, sometimes early 2000s, and they're the Elvira beer commercials. It's the old McDonald's, the old Toys R Us, the old Party City commercials, the old Walgreens commercials, and I will just run those in the background. Sometimes I will actually sit and like actively watch them, maybe while I'm eating dinner or something. So nostalgic. And I feel like how that connects to me as a kid is we would have a lot of the Halloween specials recorded from like live TV on VHS. Not a lot, but some. I know we had Garfield's Halloween recorded, and I think we had the Peanuts on like home VHS. And so you would see the commercials from the recording in between. I assume those two things are kind of connected, like why that's such a nostalgic thing for me, but it is such a tradition for me. I love watching the vintage commercials. And then kind of linking to what I watched or whatever. Obviously now it's evolved and I create some Halloween content or videos or whatever. Haunt hunting, talk or treats like you're watching now, VLOGOWEEN. That is something that's obviously a new tradition for me, one that I love so much. Also, watching other people's Halloween videos on YouTube is a new tradition for me. I watch plenty of Halloween content on all platforms. But let's move on to events and activities. So some activities are just a tradition now and not in the past because they didn't exist before. One of those being the pumpkin walk at the Minnesota Zoo. Favorite thing all year. Favorite thing all year. I look forward to it all year. The moment we're leaving at the end from the Minnesota Zoo that night, I am basically counting down the days until I get to come back the next year. It's just magical. Everything there is Halloween. Everybody's in the Halloween mood. There's a bunch of people. It's like a gathering. You feel like you're in Halloween Town. Everything is only lit by like orange and purple lights and glow. It's magic. Like literally magical. And that is coming up this next Friday and I could not be more excited. So that is also gonna start off the next VLOGOWEEN. Haunt hunting and decor shopping is totally a new tradition for me each year. When I was a kid, obviously I didn't have a house. I had a room, but I didn't really have money. So I wouldn't go shopping for Halloween decor. But now, obviously that's a huge tradition for me. It is something, again, I look forward to all year. Getting a Halloween tattoo, speaking of very fitting, every year is also a tradition for me that is obviously newer. It started in college. I don't know if it started literally when I turned 18, but it probably started when I turned maybe like 20 or 21, and I got my ghost on this arm. He was my first Halloween tattoo. Just like, it was a little nod to Halloween. I don't know what I was thinking, like, oh, this is all I'm ever gonna get. And then the next year I was like, you know, I can get one more. I just get like a little pumpkin on this side. And then I was like, okay, but I love Mom's old Beastle decor of that skeleton, and I don't have like a skull or skeleton one, so I'm gonna get that. And then each year I was like, well, I could get this, I could get that, I could get this, I could get that. I don't know if I genuinely thought this would be the only one when I got it, but like, what was I thinking? One that truly has evolved, obviously, is decorating. It has evolved kind of multiple times. So when I was a child, obviously my mom would decorate. I think I probably helped her starting in high school, but before then, my mom was the one decorating the house. Though she wasn't like me, which isn't surprising. She didn't do themes in every room. She didn't have as much decor as me, but she definitely filled the house with Halloween. Like, anywhere you'd go, there's Halloween. The bathroom had Halloween decor, the kitchen had Halloween decor, dining room, living room, the stairs, the front yard. There was Halloween decor everywhere. It truly felt like a fully decorated Halloween house, which obviously really fed into my love and my enjoyment of being surrounded by Halloween decorations. I also have specific ones that stand out in my head as some of my favorites or very nostalgic Halloween decor pieces. Last week in VLOGOWEEN when we went thrifting and I said there was that kind of like plushy body but pumpkin bucket head sitting jack-o'-lantern head guy, that's something my mom had like 2 or 3 of, and they're very nostalgic for me. There's a very specific light up jack-o'-lantern that they would always put in the same spot in the dining room. That is very nostalgic. There's this haunted house ceramic light that actually changes colors, and it makes this like really quietly when it changes, and I would sit, it was in the bathroom, and I would like sit on the floor of the bathroom watching it change colors and just listening to the like ding, doop. But those are very nostalgic. Then obviously I moved on to college. I had an apartment. I would decorate for Halloween. I wasn't doing themes yet. I didn't have very much. A lot of it was Dollar Tree. A lot of it was Walmart. Some of it was Target, dollar section in specific. But I would always make sure to have my apartment decorated for Halloween all of October. And then I went a little cuckoo crazy, and we are where we are now. And my house is obviously themed, packed full of Halloween. A lot of rooms are spooky all year. We've like reached, well, no, I don't want to say that. We will never hit the peak. It'll always get better and cooler every single year. So we're like here. We're getting close to the peak, but it will continue to get better. Also, trick-or-treating. Of course, I'm an adult now. I'm not going trick-or-treating. Do I wish I could? Maybe. But I have now evolved that into giving out candy and treat bags to trick-or-treaters. And I love it, honestly, like just as much. I get to see all these little kids, really cute costumes. I get to speak to their parents and my neighbors. I get to put together my own treat bags. And when the kids come to the house and they see all the decor, their faces always light up. A lot of the parents will tell us that they like to drive by our house or walk by the house all throughout the season. And then when we give the kids the treat bag versus just 1 or 2 pieces of candy, so many kids are like, this is all for me? And they get so excited. The enjoyment for me on Halloween night is probably even more than it was when I would go trick-or-treating. But if I ever had a child, I will go back to trick-or-treating. Obviously, I will absolutely bring my kid around house to house and love every freaking minute of it. I have 2 more that have kind of phased out. One of them not as much, but one of them kind of has, but would come back in the future, again, if I have like a child. So that one is called Hide and Spook. I think I've told you guys about this in the past, definitely not last year, probably a couple years ago. My dad, my brother, and I would always play this game all throughout October, a couple nights, maybe like 3 or 4 nights in October. It's usually quite cold at night. We'd get bundled up and we would grab a bunch of the classic plastic vintage pumpkin and ghost candy buckets. We would go into our backyard and one person would hide them all and the other 2 would close their eyes. When the one says they're done, everyone goes and looks for them. We had a lot of trees. My parents had luckily a decently large backyard, so there was a lot of room to hide these buckets, and it was so much fun. I would be like freezing cold, but I would be like, let's do another round, let's do another round, let's do another round. It'd be like frosty outside, and I'd be like, can we please go outside and play hide and spook tonight? I loved playing that. And again, if I had a child at some point, totally bringing that back. And last but not least is one that maybe some of you have done, maybe some of you have never heard of, and it's called ghosting/booing. So my family always called it ghosting, which is funny because we used that term before ghosting became an actual like commonly used word for a whole different reason. But we would go ghosting, and what that was you made a treat bucket, treat bag of Halloween candy, a couple little Halloween accoutrements, some snacks, some whatever, and you'd have this sheet that gave you all the instructions, and you'd leave this at someone's doorstep. You'd ring the doorbell or knock, and you'd book it. So it's basically Mayday baskets meets ding dong ditching. Usually we'd want to watch the person come out and see if they actually grabbed the basket. So we'd hide behind like a tree or behind a car, and the person would come out, and the sheet basically explains like, you've been ghosted. You must now go ghost like 4 or 5 of your neighbors. And we would do this every year. We would do it to my cousins that lived close. We would do it to all of our friends that lived in the neighborhood, some of our teachers that we knew their address, some of our just neighbors that we were kind of closer with. We would do it to many, many people, like 20 houses, even though you're only supposed to do like 4 or 5. Obviously it's us, so we went over the top. Now, a couple years back, I did kind of do this again, and I think I did it for a couple years in a row, and I like bought, I think like Halloween beer or little booze bottles or something, and I did it to my adult friends. Like my high school friends who are also now adults. I don't know if I printed the sheet and everything. I think I just put in something that said like, you've been booed or you've been ghosted. But it's something I would totally consider doing again. Again, I can do like an adult version to like my aunts and uncles or my adult cousins or my adult friends. Or again, if I ever had a child, I would totally bring the tradition back. Just because again, these things like shaped me, I feel like genuinely as a kid. These fun little activities that really just added so much into my Octobers and my Halloween season and my Halloween experience, making it more than just a day, making it an entire month/season of fun and activities, I think is why I love it so much. Let's get a little deep for 1 second, and then I will let you guys go until the next clip. A lot of times people ask me like where my interest in Halloween came from, and a lot of times I can't really pinpoint it. My dad has always loved Halloween. My mom has always loved Halloween too. Together then, I think the love for Halloween grew between them. Their anniversary is the day before Halloween. And so I always like think it has to do with that, which I guess it does kind of branch from that. But I genuinely think my love for Halloween comes from basically everything we just talked about. The traditions, the core childhood memories, so many of them being like linked to a spooky activity or a Halloween related activity. I know I have those same things for other holidays, but I don't know if I have as many, and I just don't know if I felt like as much joy or just pure enjoyment from them as I did from all my Halloween ones. Ghosting people, hide and spook, making the Halloween cards each year, listening to the Halloween music, making Pillsbury sugar cookies each year. Sometimes we would just be playing in the backyard and my dad would put on his leather face mask and out of nowhere just like run outside like yelling, and it would freak me and my brother out. But like looking back now, it's like such a core positive memory. Even though I was being scared out of my mind, I just love it. I love everything that has to do with it. There was just so much unexpected, but tradition, but fun, and just so much related to the season. Thank you for listening to my talk or treat and therapy. My talk or treat or therapeutic session. Now that I've told you where all my love for Halloween comes from, apparently, I'm gonna go eat some more candy corn and peanuts and reminisce on Halloween's past and get excited about Halloween's future. So let me know some of your core Halloween memories. What are your favorite few traditions that you and your family have always done, or that you have done as a kid and still do to this day? What are some of your favorite new traditions? And last, Do you or have you done any of these things? Obviously trick-or-treating, pumpkin carving, decorating, whatever. Any of the other activities? Have you, would you, have you heard of those? Let me know. And let's move on with this VLOGOWEEN. I just had to share this. The spooky vibes were vibing that night. We had a VHS recording of the Garfield Halloween special, and we were watching it on our TV downstairs. And honestly, these spooky party decorations were creating quite a spooky mood. Hello, ghouls and ghosties. It is the 8th now today, and I have been so freaking busy working today that it is currently almost 5 p.m. and I have not obviously done anything spooky yet today. I have a couple things to show you that I've got in the mail in the past few days as kind of like a mini haul. This week I would say it was probably like the least spooky week, but next week is going to be the most spooky week. We are not only going to the Pumpkin Walk, my favorite event of the entire year, but we are also going to see Trick or Treat in the movie theater on Tuesday. They're having a 1-day release in theaters. We are taking my family's Halloween card picture next week. Ryan and I are going back to Fear Fest next week at Mall of America, and I'm gonna show you guys it in a little more detail. And then at the end of next week, which will actually be 2 weeks from now, in the VLOGOWEEN after that, we are going to a river city where we do all kinds of fun spooky activities. They have the best pumpkin patch ever. So next week is freaking jam-packed. This week is like the calm before the storm, and then everything takes off. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to apologize if this week seemed a little slower. It was kind of a busy work week for me. So the first thing that I picked up is this set of pins. How freaking fitting. Of Peanuts, Great Pumpkin, Halloween, Charlie Brown, whatever you want to call it. And it's all the characters trick-or-treating. I got a rock. We've got Lucy. We've got kind of the whole gang here, except Pigpen, which is kind of a bummer. I got this from some website called Pin Trill. That's actually the website. And I did get a keychain from them and a couple magnets as well, but I already have those in use. So I just want to show you this. The keychain is actually the same thing. They're all just connected, and then it hangs from your bag like a lineup of trick-or-treaters. I thought these were so cute. I kept being pushed them on like Instagram and Facebook, and I was like, okay, I have to have those. So I did buy these. Something I got from Amazon that I got not only for myself, but also for trick-or-treaters is this roll of vintage-inspired Halloween stickers. As you can see, a lot of them look like Beastal die cuts, and I think they are so cute. This witch with the moon, this owl that I actually have a die cut of. This one is a true die cut as well. I think these are adorable, and if obviously, I have a trillion of them because I have 2 rolls of these. If I run out for trick-or-treaters, I can start to cut up the roll that I got for me. And I also, with my like main job, when I ship out packages, I might put some of these on packages or include them in packages. I'm not really sure yet. Another thing is some seeds, like plant seeds. You might be like, how's that spooky? And no, they're not pumpkin seeds. This is something really interesting that I just found out on the news last week and instantly had to go online and see if I could purchase, and I could. So I ordered a couple different kinds of seeds that I'm gonna plant, some indoors this fall or winter, and then some are gonna be saved for next spring. There are 2 that I really wanna tell you guys about. These are very interesting plants, like all of these. There is a spooky plant that I had never heard of, and that is called the Bed of Nails plant. So I'm gonna put in a picture actually over me talking right here of what the Bed of Nails looks like, and I'm going to plant this inside, and I think it is so freaking cool, and I'm hoping that I can get it to grow. They were like impossible to find already grown. You'd have to go to some kind of like super specialty greenhouse or something, which I just don't have around here, but I think those are so cool. And then the other one I want to tell you guys about, which is kind of a similar vibe, is the porcupine tomato. Now this one is one that I'm gonna have to plant in the spring because it has to go outside. Well, I could plant it inside. It'd be a lot more work. I'm gonna save this one to put in the garden next spring, but but again, here's a look at what the porcupine tomato looks like. Spiky leaves, kind of looks like the bed of nails. I am freaking obsessed. Obsessed. And my Monstera, that I've had for years, like all throughout college and stuff, has passed away over the past couple months. And I've been sad about it. I haven't even dumped it out because I just like am bummed. I've had it for so long, but I'm gonna, I guess, replace that with the bed of nails, his like emo goth younger sibling. Okay, so the last things that I want to open with you guys, these Spirit Halloween faux VHS cases that come with some collectibles. I do have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and Trick or Treat. These come with like patches, buttons, decals, lanyards, all kinds of fun collectible stuff. Honestly, what sold me was like the case itself. The fact that this looks like a real VHS. I'm gonna use the case as decor. I'd planned to do like a short or like a TikTok about these, but it's been too long and now I just like don't want to. Cool. Okay, so you open them up and it looks like a box, like a VHS box on the inside. It almost feels like wrapping paper. No, I guess it's just cardboard. That is a cool little touch. So we've got 2 pins. Always check your candy, and then a spooky jack-o'-lantern inspired by Sam. I've got all kinds of pins now. I'm pumped. These are decals, removable decal for your computer, car, or anything. There are 2. The lineup of the kids in the school bus, and then a Sam where he's got a bag of candy and his face is kind of coming off. Then we have a lanyard. Oh, you get a couple things. Okay, so you get the actual lanyard slip with a little like picture of Sam in it. You get this Holly Ho candy weapon that he uses in the movie. And then you get the actual lanyard. One side says Trick or Treat, and one side is more of a picture of him. Those are super cool. So Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Oh, cool. It actually looks quite different. The VHS. It's like facing the other direction and it doesn't have the Spirit logo on it. These are really cool. I hope they do these with other movies in the future. I would like them to do, of course, like Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus. That would be pretty cool. So I assume this comes with kind of the same stuff. We've got 2 pins now on video. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And then one that actually just has like Elvira on it. Then we've got a decal. We've got 2 decals. Oh my gosh, they double stuffed mine. I got 4 decals. We've got an Elvira herself. I might put this on my computer. That is iconic. And then we've got Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And it's kind of the same picture of her, but she's in front of her car. Which I want the grill of my car to look like this, please. And last, we have a lanyard of Elvira, the basically DVD/VHS cover/movie poster in here. And we have, oh, that's cool, an Elvira like bat-shaped little keychain. Unfortunately, you cannot take these off. Actually, no, you could like twist the ring and take it off if you wanted to. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got Elvira on the lanyard, which is really cool. I don't really use lanyards, so I'm not sure what I'm going to use these for, but they are really cool. The keychains I'll probably take off and put on my car keys or something. So anyways, I just wanted to do something spooky with you guys today, so we didn't like have nothing. I feel like we've got to check in like every day at least once. It is October after all. So I will see you guys in the next clip. That night, we took Will for a walk, and I just had to share with you guys this house. I've maybe shown it to you last year in VLOGOWEEN, but I love their vintage decor. It is so cute. It's so 90s, possibly even 80s, maybe early 2000s. I don't know, but it's just so vintage and so adorable. It's like simple, but it absolutely does the job. The next day, my mom and I stopped at a Goodwill. This Goodwill didn't have too many Halloween items, so I didn't really find anything to get here, though there were a few items that reminded me of my childhood and were quite nostalgic to me. I used to have this rubbery hanging skeleton guy when I was a kid. He's super cute. I love that he's like looking to the side. And these ghost string lights were super nostalgic too. Alrighty, ghouls and ghosties, we have some clothing to distress and to zombify. I have my fake blood, and then I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors. I've been trying to think of what else I can do. Obviously, I can kind of like rub them in the dirt, and I could also drag them with my car, but I might get the authorities called on me if I did that. But I'm like trying to think of other ways to distress them. We'll have to figure it out. I'm going to turn these into zombie clothing. So I'm gonna listen to my Halloween playlist, and I'm going to get to work on this. Hello, ghouls and ghosties. It is actually Saturday when I'm filming this clip for you. So for me, it is like the 11th of October, but we won't talk about that until next VLOGOWEEN. So I do apologize that this video is late. If you didn't see my post yesterday on my feed, we were at the pumpkin walk last night, and that was kind of an all-night event. And I was just running a bit behind on the editing and the voiceover and stuff. So I hope you guys can forgive me, but this wasn't too late, maybe just like 12 to 18 hours late. I hope that is okay with you guys. Maybe it was a nice Saturday surprise for some of you. And again, I do apologize if this wasn't as ooky spooky kooky as some of the other VLOGOWEENs, but next week's is going to be wild and full of spooky events. Trust me, almost every day has something. It's probably gonna be a long one, so I'm gonna have to keep talk or treat to a minimum. But thank you for coming along with me on another week in the beautiful month of October. I will let you guys go for the day or night, but have a wonderful 11th, maybe 12th, maybe 13th of October, and I will see you guys next week for yet another VLOGOWEEN. Goodbye.